What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rare Drop Presents Bunghole episode.
Presents Bungholes.
I mean, Meteorian core.
Bungholian core.
Bungholian core. Episode 8 after show.
Welcome to Rare Hub.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I do think Byf could consider his character having a new career choice now.
It is true.
I don't know. That could be a business that could start in the bunghole.
Our feathers are very soft.
I may have failed epically with that first sleight of hand roll, but who knows where my career would take me with a second sleight of hand roll.
Hey, Dad and Dad, where did you meet? In the bunghole.
I think
He
there's
serenaded me
several
first and then went straight for the move.
several ways this could play out. Maybe this is a romance. Maybe this is charming. Maybe somebody charismas their way through this.
I'm rolling for it. You can bet your ass I'm rolling for it.
There's a lot of emotional responses.
So, for all the uninitiated, after an incredible session of puns and enjoying each other's company over a meal, we've arrived at Rivington at the Bunghole, trying to get ourselves a nice little bit of respite. But of course, our resident kleptos couldn't let us just enjoy a meal and a hot bath. Oh no. With discovering we don't have shit left in our pockets from our cosmic upheaval that we achieved. And being incredibly poor, it relied on a coupon that Toff found. All get us to this point. Tonight is why I love D&D without combat, because you can have as much fun as you want with skill checks. You just have to set things up for you to roll dice and enjoy yourself.
I just want it recorded and documented that all of you are amazing, and that was an absolute blast. And thank you so
I have not laughed
have
that much in so long.
Hopefully this is like the takeaway that we will support each other in whatever strange actions they do. At least Itsy Bitty succeed with her Echo Knight.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Oh my god.
So close.
Yes.
I thought I was about to have to snap the man's neck from both sides.
Let's not forget Toff's deadpan at the dude defecating in the alley. Your literal acting and facial expressions destroyed me. I was like, I have things to do on the screen, but I'm seeing you method act this out as Toff, and it's so good. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
If you don't want that to happen, you gotta stop giving me very vivid descriptions.
Right, it's just so good.
Oh no.
I've been there and I've seen that man on Mardi Gras, and I'll never forget it. Almost everything that happens in D&D has already happened to me somewhere in the South. So
Trauma sharing. Got it. That's what D&D is.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, kind
Isn't
of.
that why we all have really bad backstories?
Yeah, that's true. That's how
somehow,
we're not okay.
out of all of this, you find the weak gazelle, you decide you're gonna pickpocket someone in the bar, you make best friends with them, you're making all the incredible checks, you're passing the gauntlet, you even get them to nullify their nat 20s back to back on disadvantages. It all plays out, and then at the very end, your thief and rogue extraordinaire says, you know what? After I've already impersonated a bard of which they have never seen before and gotten away with it, you nat 1 on the pickpocket, and you reach into another man's trousers, and the early bird in Zanryn gets the worm.
It's like it's written. I mean,
You can't make this stuff up.
Get the description of what you found in terms of.
See, I knew. I was like, you're rolling a one-sided dice on this. You're gonna hit a 1. You are.
And I'm so glad you did, because it's going to be probably the most awkward opening episode of a D&D of my life.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be so fantastic.
I'm going to have to take the edge off with the Voodoo Ranger.
So I laughed just before we started talking about stuff just now, because I've realized again that even though I rolled the 1, I have done some prep for this. So realistically, no matter how this goes, I'm not going to necessarily be dealing with the consequences so much as Solus is going to be dealing with the consequences.
I didn't realize that! Oh, God!
Somebody else's problem.
Somebody has to Somebody's going to
We have to get Solus on for a guest episode.
I'm sorry, we have to. Absolutely, we've got to get Technique back.
How do I approach it? Go, okay, Frank, let me tell you. I know you're having a hell of a week with Lost Ark, okay? I know, I pulled in crazy, huge numbers. But I gotta let you know that Byf impersonated you and he's got another man in his hand. We need to get your reaction on this.
We gotta get him in an episode where like they all show up and he's performing.
Oh.
And it's just like a very awkward moment.
You telling me that the man who isn't Solus?
He's not even a famous person.
He'll get beat up because people think he's fake.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be like, "Where's the real Solus? What have you done?" Depending on how this goes, it could be, "What have you done with my lover? What have you done with my friend?"
I'll say,
which is awful and twisted, but like, goddamn.
I'll say this much about this lead into how ridiculous this opening scene's gonna be. The good news is, you made a performance that only Prince could pull off. And I'll tell you this much, even the straightest of men that are inside of a bar in Rivington, if Prince accidentally brushed by my side, you go, that's Prince. That's one.
I'd kiss Prince.
Oh. In no other ways, if I were not your friends and having a good time with improv and enjoying this, would we ever go someplace like this in a normal, where this is in a situation where we know we're not going to cross boundaries, we're having a good classic sitcom style joke, and no matter what out of the outcome, we're going to make it entertaining and not go a certain direction whatsoever. It's all in good fun from it, because assault is a very real thing, and this is not. This is just a funny tavern moment, and we'll move on from it. There'll be a couple variations from it. We'll enjoy a good laugh when we start off next, and
I will say,
and go
if
from
I can
it.
interrupt you, how Biddy went from like just wanting to show an ankle to like full on dick grabbing. Session.
Really escalated.
Honestly,
Brom has probably got to be full red on tomato right now.
The action was a failed check. It wasn't intentional.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That's
it was
the
not.
other main-
No, it's not. It was not intentional.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional, but maybe. Here's the other thing as well. I've never actually touched like Zanryn's sexuality or anything along those lines, and not intent.
I've never actually touched Zanryn.
I've never actually touched.
You know, a lot of times in D&D, you don't know until you grab, and you have to post that, write that backstory.
Wait, it's Zanryn's turn. We all know Biddy's into angel babies, so Zanryn's, what are you into?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
We're
a
learning.
really good question, but honestly, I'd never thought about it if there was any kind of relation to it.
Regardless
there
of
was any particular thing, right?
whether there was or not,
happy accident, maybe.
it's an accident where you go, whoop! And it's very much a, oh God, I can't.
Rely on his reaction.
Oh, that's not your pocket watch. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Good
I'll
times.
say this too. I should clarify a few things as well, which is I'm red in the face from laughter. The room in here has no ventilation, and it's the house retains heat really well. But my god, this has been incredibly entertaining.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Oh,
I really don't even know what direction this goes at the beginning of everything, but I imagine part of it gets determined by a roll. And no matter what that roll is, I think that this is probably one of the most hilarious, spontaneous junctures of a story that we could possibly have landed at.
it's definitely the chaos juncture. There's no doubt about that. In my mind, when I do these, when I set these out where I'm 100% not going to throw the party into combat unless they do it to themselves. We're just going to, all I want to do is let them explore the environment and have them naturally, organically get into skill checks. That's my job. That's all I think about when I do one of these sessions. I want you to explore and prod, and then we'll have the fun rolls based off of it. And I generally go, okay, I will make sure I have a hook, because we got to get somewhere. It's still my job to show you where point B is, even if you meander and just have fun in the sandbox. So generally I have a moment like there's going to be someone that comes into the tavern, or there's going to be an interjection. Most of the time I never worry about this because people prod enough to where I will get my organic thread somewhere to where I can interject, and there may be a component then of drama that will enter. And that's the beauty of this. At any point in time, if you pre-write it and you sit down and go, okay, well, I'm going to have the gang come in and threaten that bartender that they haven't paid their rent money yet. And you say, that's going to be, but this is a lot of times, that's the hook. So you're going to be, okay, I have this drama pre-set up. Don't put that, go ahead and put that away. Just let your party keep throwing pickpocket rolls until it goes somewhere. And you did. You negotiated well. You were like, well, we don't have money. How do we circumvent going the long way? You picked up on all the tells of like, well, we got to do something. We're either singing for it or we're stealing it. You did the classic weigh your options. Let's try to get in the city as quick as we can. And I loved it.
I mean, you can't write that. Like, we gave Nelson a mimicry skill at the start of the game. I got a D20 in pocket, and Zanryn is obsessed with Solus and worried that, you know, he's not going to get paid because Solus isn't here. And it just like these threads all come together for that scene, and it's so weird.
Perfect. So perfect.
Biddy just wants to make men cry.
Yeah.
A simple goal.
And that she did. Stud.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that next week that you guys, you have earned that invitation to a barge. I'm excited to see where it goes, but this is a great expose on how to have fun with your friends in a tavern. 100%. I love you all.
How to have fun with your friends, and maybe I don't know new ones, but
How to have fun with your friends in the bunghole.
And the scene turns to black. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.